Welcome, seekers of forgotten truths, to one of the most critical and contradictory cities in history, Nicaea. From its ancient gates, the tremors of 2,000 years still resonate. This is the sacred ground where the very foundations of the Christian faith were first solidified, a place blessed by emperors. But it is also the cursed soil where the seeds of the Church's greatest schisms, its deepest divisions, were ruthlessly and tragically sown. For centuries, this city has been a silent witness to brutal wars and buried religious secrets. Now, we uncover the motive behind a singular journey. A pope's voyage to this distant Anatolian city was never a simple, pious visit. It was a calculated, audacious move, the deliberate declaration of the West's ultimate claim for supreme control over the East. The enduring significance of Nicaea is forged in the year 325 A.D. Cast your mind back to that tumultuous era when the great Emperor Constantine summoned the Christian world to its first ecumenical council, right here within these now silent walls. This monumental gathering was the crucible of early doctrine. From its debates emerged the immortal NiceneCreed, the foundational stone of our faith, which we recite and believe to this very day. It was the solemn decree that finally ended the profound theological disputes concerning the nature, the very divinity of Jesus Christ. Nicaea, therefore, became renowned across the globe not merely as a city, but as the revered birthplace of Christian doctrine and unified belief. Yet we must remember, even the strongest foundation can prove fragile. This profound, sacred unity, tragically, was destined to be utterly shattered 1,000 years later. Our story now focuses on the shadowy figure of Pope Leo, representing the ambitious popes of the 10th and 11th centuries, men who saw the throne of Peter as a political weapon. The destiny of Nicaea, after the devastating separation known as the Great Schism of 1054, became utterly vital to the papacy's survival and ambition. This schism tore the heart out of Christendom. The political and religious currents were volatile. The powerful ancient seat of Rome, the Western Church, stood in cold, bitter opposition to the dazzling imperial glory of Constantinople, the Eastern Orthodox Church. Pope Leo's persistent, focused gaze upon Nicaea and the vulnerable Byzantine lands revealed an ambition far greater than mere spiritual concern. It pointed to a solitary, uncompromising objective: to seize and forever possess the immense spiritual authority and earthly wealth held by the fractured Church of the East. The true breadth of Pope Leo's secret plan extended far beyond simple reconciliation. It was, at its very core, a savage struggle for absolute power and dominion. Nicaea was no ordinary prize. It functioned as the indispensable military and religious fulcrum, strategically captured and held by the tide of Crusader armies surging from Western Europe. By gripping Nicaea firmly in his hand, the Pope sought two monumental outcomes. First, to brutally force the division between the East and West to conclude decisively in Rome's favor. Second, and more critically, to channel the raw, devastating military might unleashed by the Crusades directly under the undisputed control of the papacy. Nicaea was, therefore, not a simple city, but the literal military and religious gateway that the West would utilize to colonize the spiritual East. This entire comprehensive strategy represented the most audacious plan in history, the total fusion of sacred religious authority with crushing political and military power. The profound calculating move made by Pope Leo brings us full circle, forcing us to confront one of the greatest and still unresolved mysteries in the long history of Christianity. Where truly does the ultimate ecclesiastical power reside? Is it anchored by the enduring physical presence of this papacy in Rome, or does it still echo in the ancient, unyielding purity of Nicaea's original statements of faith? The great silent walls of Nicaea continue to whisper their story, not only of the siege and the bloodshed of countless wars, but of the endless, bitter religious secrets concerning the rightful hand that should ultimately hold the control of the universal church. Thank you for following this journey into the shadows.